I'm going to discuss about why the war in Ukraine, why China will be the key during the war in Ukraine. China will be the key factor for the Ukrainian victory. Yes. The thing is that now the war is going to be the war process is going to stop. The start is another virus would be start. It means that both sides cannot have the breaking through moment. I don't think personally I don't think that the first counterattack of the Ukrainian army will have a significant change. I don't think so because currently Ukrainians still have not enough weapon. It still have not enough probability to have a significant victory. Yeah. So the problem is the war will be hot. The front line will be hot until next year, and by next year we can finally see some significant change. Currently, the most part of the significant change occurs in Bakhmut. The Bakhmut now Russia has occupied more than 80% of the Bakhmut city. The Russia is going to can have conquered all of the Bakhmut. The next city in Donetsk will be Slavyansk. The next city in Donetsk will be Slavyansk. Personally, my definition of about the occupied city is 80%. 80% is my last definition. If I, for example, if I take like if a Bakhmut city, Russia only came 30% to 30% to 50%, I would think that Russia still has still not occupied Bakhmut entirely. But right now, Russia has seized more than 80% of the Bakhmut. But personally, in my opinion, I would think that the Russia had already occupied Bakhmut. It's now Ukraine not abandoned Bakhmut totally, but majority of the Bakhmut is be on Russian hand. This is undeniable. Yeah. So the problem is currently the most significant change is about Bakhmut city. So in general, the front line has been frozen until next year. It will finally have significant change. This is currently my estimation and my current point of view. And then next we are going to discuss the frozen front line. What does the frozen front line mean in the whole world? The frozen front line means that the currently now either Russian side or the Ukrainian side, or you can say the West side, play a fair game. They are competent between each other. They have same strength between each other. So the front line is hot. So the front line is frozen. So you can you can use judge. Balance to as a metaphor to describe the Russo-Ukraine war. The Russia has been weakened, and they are not going to occupy more Ukrainian land significantly. And the Ukrainian side is going to, because of Western help, Ukrainian side is become stronger. And the stronger Ukrainian side can compete with Russia equally. Okay, so they are in balance. Now China, although China has meet with President Putin, China has make a phone call with President Zelensky, but China still doesn't make a significant movement to both sides of the country. What China say is that they want peace. They want peace, and they want to they want there's no war. This can be political solved. Yeah, right now. But so right now, China has not been on the table. And we can say China is going to be on the table because China has many internal problems. What kind of internal problems? The internal problem is that China have back up its COVID policy. Its COVID shutdown policy as built up. This is a significant harm to the honor of the China's government, to the credit of the China's government, to the reputation of China's government. This is a very strong harm against Chinese government. So CCP, the China Communist Party, need to take some actions in order to keep their reign and prevent some parade, prevent some anti-government movement, and prevent some treason. Okay, So and also prevent some rebellions. So the China has touched the Russo-Ukraine war. Why? Because this is the war that U.S. can't solve. So if China solves this war, that means China is better than U.S. That means the funniest in the China will praise President Xi's achievement. Yes, this is the logic about China. Okay, so let's also if China can successfully gain peace between two nations, that means the funniest will praise presidency, will be take tendency as the world savior, as the emperor, as the best. China will be the best country of the world. In the description of the China propaganda, like CCTV, like Phoenix TV or something else. Yeah. So that time will be very perfect. So for China, the reward of the negotiation between two wars, the reward to intervene the Russo-Ukraine war is enormous. That means if that can be successful, they can succeed on ceasefire. China will, the next 10 years of China, in next 10 years, no matter how suck CCP do on the internal affair, the Chinese won't betray CCP. The Chinese people will be proud and won't rebel them. Then they have 10 years time to keep their reign without any trouble. And for 10 years, they can recover the Chinese economy from COVID policy. So this is very attractive. The reward is very attractive. And how about the cost? What will be the cost about the negotiation? It needs some speed of the diplomat. It just needs some mouths of the diplomats, right? It just needs some mouths. One go to the president, go to Russia and talk with Putin, and go to the Ukraine, talk with Zelensky, and talk. So they all need talking. They all need words. They need little little cost to have an enormous reward. So this is China's calculation. So that's why China will be eager, and more accurately, China is very eager to hold the Russo-Ukraine war because the reward is too large for them. They are too attractive for them to get away from this event. China wants to gain the political profit from this war. So this is the main thing. And now I have to describe the current situation. I want to describe one situation change in China, Russo-Ukraine, in the Chinese policy against about the Russo-Ukraine war. I have to say by last year, I mean 2022, China, the internal affair of China is pro-Russia. And if you had some pro-Ukrainian opinion, and you publish your pro-Ukrainian opinion on the internet, you have one consequence. The consequence is you will be banned. You will be your account will be suspended. Okay, but right now the situation is entirely different. Last week, today, I have seen the top article in the Weibo. Weibo is the Chinese Twitter, or you can say Weibo is Chinese Facebook, or and something like that. Oh, Twitter. Okay, the Chinese Twitter Weibo. Weibo said, "Oh, that 科意在乌克兰." I mean the 科意 of Ukraine. 科意 is a Chinese volunteer who is now engaging in helping Ukrainians in Lviv and Kherson. Okay, so and 科意, I know him. He had contact with me, and I have helped him broadcast. I have shared his information to my people last year, and I have helped him to get for more 200 fans in the initiative. But because at that time, Curry had only 82 fans. But after my broadcast, now Curry had more than 200. Now more than 4,000 fans, and he actually had more fans than me. I remember right. And Curry, today, last week, Curry has shared a post about Russia's. Not today, the day before yesterday, 2 days ago, Curry has published an article about how Russia are massacring Ukrainian civilians, how Russia shielding innocent Ukrainian civilians, why the Ukrainian women are crying, why, and this is the city woman, and Russia killed 24 civilians inside China, in Ukraine, and 科意在乌克兰, 科意 of Ukraine, he shared his post on the Weibo, and it became the top search. It become the hottest article this week. This is enormous different, significantly different from the situation last year. Because last year, if you could post the same thing inside China, that means that will be banned. The account will be suspended for 1 month, at least one month. So now the situation has significantly different. Now the situation has been the China's in the speech censorship in China is now going to be in favor of Ukraine instead of Russia. The China propaganda is now being neutral instead of pro-Russia. But last year they are pro-Russia. This year they are neutral. We can expect next year or 2 years later it will get pro-Ukraine. So this is the big trend. We right now due to the China's domestic environment, domestic policy environment, we can describe three three part of the China's CCP government. The first part is internal affair. The second part is foreign affair. The third part is military army. This is PLA army. We don't discuss about the judge. I mean the judicial system, because the judicial system is combined with the internal affair. They are the same. China doesn't have the splitted. Doesn't have independent judicial system. Its judicial system worked for internal affairs. Okay, so this is the problem. The right, I have to describe the three factors inside Chinese CCP government. The first one is about the internal affair. Internal affair right now the direct performance is about propaganda in China and speech censorship in China. The speech censorship in China and propaganda in China is now neutral. It's now neutral. Last year pro-Ukraine, but now it's neutral. We can expect next year will be pro-Ukraine. Okay. In the will be pro-Ukraine and in the internal affair. But the foreign policy is still pro-Russia. Like Russo-Ukraine has said, former Soviet, post-Soviet country doesn't have has blurred integrity, have had blurred sovereignty, and the sovereignty can be questioned. The sovereignty of the Ukrainian, like post-Soviet country like Ukrainian, like Poland, like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, East Germany, Romania, they can all be questioned. So this shows that the foreign policy of China is still pro-Russia, but this is understandable. Why? Because China doesn't have. China has long collaboration with the Soviet Union, and although after 1960s, the Soviet Union has some territory debates with China, so their relationship got worse. But after 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. The Russia Federation had good relationship with China for more than 30 years, and after since 2016, Trump has declared trade war against China. So China needs Russia to back up for it. So right now it is understandable that China's foreign policy is still pro-Russia. But so now let me gather information. The internal affair is neutral. The foreign policy is pro-Russia, and we have the third one. Third one is about PLA army. What is our attitude of PLA army? The answer, it will be surprising that PLA army actually support Ukraine. Why? Because Ukraine, after Soviet Union collapsed, Ukraine had provided tons of the military technology to China. So the PLA army, China's defense industry has many Ukrainian experts. They are now still in China. So when the war outbreaks, those Ukrainian experts want to help Ukraine, and the PLA army also wants to help Ukraine. But as I said, the foreign policy is still pro-Russia. The internal policy is still pro-Russia. So they cannot do it openly. But let's still do something. They have sell some military pickup trucks to the Ukraine. Poroshenko has purchased a lot of land, and some Chinese citizens in Ukraine, in Zhytomyr, Ukraine has seen a large part of the military charge from China or sending to Ukraine. They send some vehicle or and some ammo to Ukraine via the third party, like via the UAE, the Union of Arab Emirates, one state between the Saudi Arabia. And I heard that they have some provide something to Poland. They send some ammo via the African countries to Ukraine. I have heard that, but most of them cannot be confirmed. The only two things can be confirmed is that DJI has been sent many to Ukraine. The second thing is that the pickup truck, like I said, the military vehicle has been sent to Ukraine. There's something you have to know that DJI is not a commercial company. Although DJI claim it is a commercial company, but actually it is the defense industry company. It is a part of the PLA related. It is a PLA related enterprise. It has states the PLA's. It has states it has represent PLA's situation. And I heard it's still one rumor. It's still something I can confirm. The news is that DJI has hold the selling to Russia. That means that now right now DJI has sent as much as they can to Ukraine and for purchasing. Yeah. So this is PLA Army's attitude. That's one factor. Another factor of the PLA Army is that the PLA Army's Major General called Luo Min. His surname is Luo, name is Lin. What benefit China will I think what benefit China will get and the relationship with Russia after the war. I think that the Russia will be China's vassal state after war because right now Russia is significantly weakened. Before the war, China has higher policies, higher foreign higher diplomatic status than China. We Chinese language have a word called 二爹, or what 二 means Russia, 爹 means dad. 二爹为什么 why we call 二爹呢? Because that Russia is China's dad. Russia is China's daddy. We mark that China always paid Russia to sell them sell them army to back up them or do something else. Yeah. So before the war outbreak, China had a lower diplomatic stature than Russia. But right now, after Xi Jinping visited President Putin, is now Russia want to plead China to sell them some weapons, to provide them some money to buy their petrol, their petrol line, to buy their gas, right? So right now, China is 中爹, is China daddy, is Russia's son. Okay, so the situation is entirely 180% reversed. So do you speak that China has no get what kind of benefit did China get from this war? I think this is the biggest benefit that Russia has become China's vassal state. Yeah, this is the biggest benefit because Russia has enormous Russia has enormous natural resources, and what they lack China is lack of natural resources the most. That is why China needs to have a good relationship with Middle East country, with African country, because they all have mines, oils and gas and other something China doesn't have. And then now China is an industrial nation, so China need a lot of natural resources to generate their product, to feed their people. China has nothing but people, but people, you can't eat other people to feed yourself, right? So you need a lot of natural resources to feed yourself. And right now, Russia is the biggest natural resources between neighboring to China. So that if Russia can be a better state to China, that means China will have no risk about the natural resources shortage. Then China will have significant economic benefits. So this is the first thing that what will be the benefit, most benefit China get after war. Okay, the second thing is that if China can really halt, really kissing fire in the war between Russia and Ukraine, that China will have high reputation, high honor, high ruin power inside the domestic nation, because the propaganda can say, wow, China has done something US can't. China is better than US. China is the best country of the world. And find it inside China will say, oh, hell, the lonely presidency. Going to Xi Jinping. Oh, okay, something like that. Okay, so that means that the Chinese government will have no danger, or will have no risk of being overthrown in next 10 years. That means no matter they are suck of their, no matter they suck on their internal affair, the people will still support presidency. And the presidency can be the emperor, and a real state emperor until his death. Okay, but there's one thing that China cannot get from this war. It's about Taiwan. China is the one thing that China will know more and more that conquering Taiwan is nearly impossible, because that the EU country doesn't like China to do by force. And US doesn't want China to do by force, but China needs EU and US to make business, because China, the majority industry of China is to reproducing low price food, low price products, and they need to be sold to the EU and US, so that China can have money. And so this is the main reason why China cannot piss off both EU and US. So China will be less and less able to conquer Taiwan, because China will know, oh, there are more and more problems about if you go attacking Taiwan by force. So right now that they want to attacking Taiwan by politics. They want to attack Taiwan by politics, because that if they go to if they use politics to make Taiwan for China be annexed by China, then China don't have to risk themselves and attack Taiwan by force. But the problem is that Taiwan has much better land than China, so there's no way for Taiwanese people to automatically choose they want to be annexed by China. Why will you want to be annexed by a country which is much worse than you, right? Who want to be get in the Xinjiang concentration camp? No one, right? So this is impossible. So the Taiwan will be the significant loss for China. So for China, China will know they are not able to conquer Taiwan after the war is over. So this is my sharing today. I hope I will see you next week. Bye bye.